All right, good morning, everybody. Richard Watson, Real Blessed Custom Rods. Today we're going to show you how to spine to blank and glue on the Unibutt ferrule for a Winthrop Epic butt. It's the same process for Alps, Avco. Any ferrule you got to glue on, use the same process. So we got our blank here. We've already cut it down to the desired length off the butt section. So what I got on the floor is your standard non-stick strip, right? Sticky back. I stick one of these to the floor and it's gonna help me find the spine of the blank. So standard technique, bend on the tip, push down till the blank pops in position. That'll show you the spine. Put it on a strip, slide it. What that's gonna do is, I don't know if you can see it right there, it's gonna sand that little spot to show you where the contact was with the floor. All right, so we got that spot right there. Roll it vertical to the light line. And what I mean by light line is I got LED lights in the overhead of my shop, and it projects a line right down the center of the blank. So we got it marked. That's gonna be decide where our guys are gonna go. We're gonna take our ferrule, right? We're gonna pick a side. We're gonna mark it. Silver on silver, but you can see what I got there. All right. Drop it to lock this down a little bit. So next thing we're going to do, you want to make sure it's going to bottom out. Slide that on all the way. You're going to mark your blank. All right. Now, next step is to arbor it up. You're going to need masking tape. This is 1 inch, and you can see I'll be able to put one at the very bottom, then one up here with a little bit of gap. And it's going to allow plenty of room for my epoxy. So we're going to start higher up. You're going to want to stay a 1/4 inch from your mark. That's going to give epoxy room to fill in at the top. If you go all the way to your mark, you're going to have tape all the way to the end, and you'll have water contamination get to your tape, and then your connection is going to fail. We do the one closest to the end first. That way you don't have to fight the ferrule over the back one to make sure this one's right. So you want this tape good and tight. You can hear it creaking and popping. You want it good and tight. If it's loose, your connection's going to be loose and it's going to fail. Like I said, good and tight. That's pretty close. We're about 2 wraps too many. So we're just going to back it off. When you back these off, stick them to your bench. You could use those little pieces of tape later that day for doing a decorative wrap. Oh, maybe 3 too many. One more. Let's back it off. One more. I always like to put on more than I'm gonna need, and then that way I can back it off to the right spot instead of adding and adding and adding. Okay, so that's good and firm. Maybe too firm. We're gonna pull off one more. I do it about 1 wrap at a time until I get it right where I want it. See, took off too much. We're gonna put one back. right, that's good. Right there. All right. So now that we got that one, we'll come down here to the bottom. Put one there. You want to stay in line as much as you can. That should be good. Oh yeah, nice snug fit. All right, I don't know if you can hear that. Pulling the suction on it. All right, so what we're gonna do next, and when I get to this epoxy part, I'm gonna slide it off the end of my table. You can see there, it's past the end. And I'm gonna grab the trash can. All right, so now we're out there. We got our ferrule with the mark on it. 15-minute epoxy is what I use. And give that a good mix. And I already had it, the 2 parts in there right before I started the video, so it's been sitting about 6 minutes, but it wasn't mixed, so it's not gonna fire off until you start mixing it up real good. And for demonstration purposes, I'm only doing one here. So now notice I took my nut off of the ferrule because the blank isn't built. I'll slide it on later. I don't want the nut, I don't want to risk that nut getting epoxy on it or in it and messing up the threads. Then you get yourself in more trouble. If you have to do it with where you already got your grip on, you're going to want to tape right here between the nut and the end of the ferrule. And that'll help keep the epoxy away. All right, so that's mixed up. I'm going to go ahead and rip off a paper towel or two. In our little spray bottle, we have 99.8% isopropyl alcohol. Let's give that a little spritz there. You don't want a lot, you just want to have them good and damp. All right, so then we're gonna take our epoxy, and you just feel it start to heat up in the cup. And we're gonna put this on here. That's why we put it in over the trash can. That drips, it goes right into the trash. And you want to make sure you encapsulate both ends, especially the front. All right, so we're going to spin it. Use your stick to get it on there good. And you'll see it's completely encapsulated. All right. You can take your ferrule, put it on there, continue to rotate it. That epoxy, you're going to get drippage, but that's okay. Just keep rotating. Keep plenty up front. All right, perfect there. Now what you're going to see here is you got 100% epoxy at the end of that ferrule, right? So got that like that. Loosen it up in the holder here. You got a sharp edge into your Renzetti or your Alps. A little bit different, but you get the idea. Lock it in there, and you're gonna twist that until your mark is right on the light line and you're lined up. So had a little bit of drip right there. That's what we got paper towels for. All right, got that lined up. It's good and firm. wipe all your excess. And what you're going to see, like I said, you got a solid epoxy. There's no way for water to get down to that tape and ruin your connection. And that is how you glue the ferrule. So if you like the video, give me what do they call it on YouTube, a follow or a subscribe. I had another YouTube channel. I lost my password and can't get access back to it, so I'm making a new one. If there's something you want to see, put it in the comments. Check me out on Facebook and TikTok, Real Blessed Custom Rods. And y'all have a good day.